Good morning and welcome. We are learning Sikha Rebbe 1991 from Shavuos. And we did already like 5 classes on this one Sikha. Very intricate, very elaborate in details about questions and answers about what it's going to be like in times of Geula, times of Mashiach, and the difference between now and then, and when it comes to learning Torah and making decisions in Torah also are going to be changed. Lasid Lovo, not that the Torah changes, but based on the new awarenesses and new insights and new ability of the rabbis to understand Torah, they will determine Torah law. They'll reconvene and determine it differently. And Rebbe goes into the whole back and forth of it. And especially the biggest, I think, new insight, one of the biggest new insights of the Rebbe, was many new insights of the Rebbe in this Sikha that were just like great revelations, of Geulitic revelations. One of them is that he explains how the new insights in times of Geula will be, how they're not contradictory to a change in Torah, but they're revelations of deeper dimensions and reasons and his secrets of Torah that were never before. And how will they be revealed, these deeper dimensions? They will actually be revealed through prophecy. Now we know Torah is not supposed to be given to angels and it doesn't stay in the heaven. So even though these teachings will be taught through prophecy and awarenesses will be revealed through prophecy, because there'll be such high levels of awarenesses that cannot be revealed just without the prophetic visions of Mashiach. Still, let me just see if am I visible? And where was my camera?
No, you're not on
You're
camera.
not visible.
Just fix that, I'm sorry. Okay, so in the times of Geula, welcome everybody who just joined. Welcome Alyssa, you just joined, and anybody else just joined, welcome. So the even though we're not supposed to listen to like heavenly voices or determine Torah law by a prophecy, what's gonna happen in the future is that Mashiach's insights are going to be prophetic. His understanding of Torah will be on level of prophecy, his understanding of Torah. However, Mashiach will also be a Talmid Chacham, a Torah learner who understands Torah and able to understand in his brain. So the ideas and information that get through prophecy will come and translate into his mind and become clear in his logical human brain. And then he'll be able to teach it to the rest of the people, the rabbis and the rest and all the people. And so everybody's mind is going to be in a much more expanded, greater vision of godliness. Okay, all the concealments that we have now will be clear and understood. God will be clear and understood. So therefore, our ability to determine and make legal rulings, the rabbis, will be on a much higher level, and they will reconvene and change laws of Torah according to their understanding of Torah at that time. Okay, so 1 second, let me just get, there was one more camera for the, sorry, it's taking me a little bit of time. Welcome everybody. Let me get one more camera on here. This camera is a little bit better and it has better voice. So 1 second, you're not gonna see it for a second. Do you see any difference, by the way? Does anybody see any difference? Maybe we
You
can
look fantastic.
thank you. No, do you hear me better, or do you see anything better? I don't know, because it's an extra camera. It's an extra piece of the puzzle over here.
It's better.
Better. Okay, good. What's better, the sound or the visual, or both?
Both.
Both. Okay, good. Thank you. Maybe that's kind of like, we can take this for times of Mashiach. We'll have a better camera, okay? So nothing changes, okay? Hashem doesn't change, Torah doesn't change, but our camera, our lens, our ability to see and to hear will be much heightened, much more heightened. We'll have better cameras.
We'll be the camera.
We'll be the camera. Great. That's even better. I love that. These always have great insights. That's true. We'll be able to see Hashem through the eyes of, through our physical body. We will be and sense Hashem in our physical body.
Because the Rebbe says we'll remember everything. So that's like being a camera, taking a picture that you don't forget.
That's always recorded. Yes, it's recorded forever. We'll be like AI too.
Yeah, that too.
Living
Except it will be our eye, real intelligence.
real, exactly, even higher level. The neshama will be on the neshama level of AI. That's pretty incredible. Imagine that. Hard to imagine. Okay, so let's get into the text. And Chavacha, do you remember where we ended on Friday?
I have paragraph 12 seemingly done.
Done, right. Okay, right. So we talked about sin in general, because I was asking about the three new cities of refuge that we are going to have in the times of Geula. Now, these three cities of refuge, I've asked a few questions, and one of them was, why do we need cities of refuge? Cities of refuge were established for people who killed by accident, and they needed a place to hide so people wouldn't take revenge on them until their case was cleared, and they were protected in the city of refuge. So the Rebbe explains that, first of all, on a physical level, on a pshat, simple level, there still will be the possibility of, there will still be even the possibility of sin in the future. It's not that we will be on a much, much higher level, so we won't need so much safeguarding, correct? Or we won't need to be so protected. Why? From evil, from sin, because we'll be learning Torah on such a higher level. Okay, the Torah Chadasha will be automatically elevated, and we won't have this need to or desire to sin. We'll be much more far removed from doing sin, but it doesn't mean there won't be evil in the world. This evil will still exist. It just won't be anything that we're even interested, enticed, or going there. But since there will still be the possibility, possible of evil or somebody maybe, I guess, doing a mistake. Therefore, there still will be three cities of refuge. But in these cities of refuge, they represent the Torah learning that will be on a much, much, much higher level, this level of Torah Chadasha that we'll have in the future, of Hashem revealing the inner dimensions of Torah and bring us to this heightened level of Torah, especially as it's taught by Mashiach on the level of prophecy. So we'll be way beyond that. So I'm just giving you like a little taste so it doesn't get so confusing when we see the back and the forth and the ins and the outs on the inside, okay? That's kind of like a little preface, but let's go inside. There also in paragraph 12 brings another chidush, Ayesh Lama, that what's the whole concept of galus, of sin in general. Sin, took place, the first sin was in the Garden of Eden with Adam Rishon, and therefore he was expelled from the Garden of Eden, right? We know the story. So, and that brought also death into the world. But he was supposed to die, and he didn't die because Hashem had compassion on him. Instead, he expelled him from the Garden of Eden. And so that's the concept also of, if a person does the sin, he kills by accident, instead of getting, somebody taking revenge of him and him being killed, he's expelled, he's exiled to a city of refuge. Now, what's done in the cities of refuge? He's learning Torah, right? He learns Torah. He gets to sit and be on sabbatical, right? You get to sit and learn Torah. And he's in a good environment with lots of good teachers, and they're learning Torah. Now, what the Rebbe says, the Torah of the future, like we said, is gonna absorb, he's gonna be absorbed and will absorb him. It's like it's like the city of refuge, it says, is collect, it absorbs the people coming in there and it protects them. The letters of Torah, the teachings of the Torah are what protect. And in the future, it will be a much heightened level of protection of the Torah. And because really, when a person does a sin, any sin, it's because a ruach shtus, Rebbe says, a person has like a spirit of folly coming into them. It's not really what a person really wants to do. Nobody wants to be disconnected from Hashem. Everybody wants to be totally absorbed in one and clarity and connected to Hashem. A sin is a disconnect. So the rabbis say the only way a person sins is if he does vivli dat, he's not paying attention, and he has a spirit of folly coming into the ruach shtus, it's called. So the tikkun, the fixing for it, is coming to the city of refuge where he learns Torah, a person learns Torah. And Torah absorbs the person, meaning it protects him from anybody who wants to harm him. And it's also from the harmful effects of the Yetzer Hara, the Satan, which is the Yetzer Hara. So the Torah protects us from ourselves, from the Yetzer Hara that's within us. And that also causes a person to be rectified and fixed and bring a new life force, new chayus, new energy that comes from Torah. So Torah energizes us, the Torah nourishes us. The Torah is a Torah of life. It gives us new. So any blood that we spilled, or any loss of life or loss of energy that we brought into, the Rebbe went on to at length about when a person does a sin, is taking the life force of holiness and putting it into klippa, into the other side, the unholy side. So that's like a spilling of blood spiritually. So it's all that life force, godly life force and energy that was placed into the wrong place is now replenished with the new life force of godly life force from the Torah that the person's learning. So he gets a new chayes, a new energy, new life through learning Torah in that city, and on a higher level. So in the times of Mashiach, like we said, will already have fixed all the sins of all the generations from the first sin of Adam Rishon. That will be fixed. So there'll still be evil in the world. Therefore, we will still need the Arei Miklat, we'll still need the cities of refuge in order to stop any possibility of anything unwanted or undesirable coming into effect as a result of there being evil in the world still. Some undesirable things still possible in the world, right? But still, this concept of even not having any possibility of coming to anything undesirable is done through adding these 3 new cities of refuge, which will be a new type of learning, not just regular Torah learning like we had till then in the 6th city of refuge. We'll have new Torah learning, which will be this Torah Chadasha, which will be a revelation beyond of the inner dimensions of Torah, as it is beyond all the levels of Torah that we're given till now, that we're fixing evil and bad in the world, but it will absorb us in such a way that we won't even have the possibility of anything undesirable. So we'll be so above and beyond anything undesirable. There won't even be the possibilities of us even being anything remotely close to sin. Okay, it's like higher level of experiencing of Hashem. There won't even be like, it's like when a person graduates and grows up, Lahavdil, I'm saying in a minutia way, we could say it's like he wouldn't be attracted to a thing that a little kid would be disturbed by, or right? It's once we fix everything in ourselves, we fixed all. I was listening to a talk by a therapist, a psychologist, who was talking about raising kids through mirroring, and he was talking about how we have to be able to not be triggered. It's very hard to get triggered as parents. But when we are able to overcome our trigger points and able to just mirror the child's experience, we're able to calm them down from their trauma by just being there with them in their experience. And when we give them the message that we're on the same page with them, we're okay with them as they are, they can calm down their emotional system. And then that can later on open up the possibility of us becoming closer and being able to even talk to them. But before we talk to a child in trauma, we have to just be able to just mirror their experience, not be triggered, and just be there with them. So I was thinking of that it's times of Mashiach, right? We won't be triggered anymore, right? Because we'll all have our emotional system, our emotions already dealt with. We won't have trigger points. A child will say to us whatever the child wants to say or could say or might say that normally would have triggered us will become, okay? So that this needing to fix ourselves, right? And will already be finished. That's right. Like all our trigger points are fixed. Times of Mashiach, times of Geula. Okay, nothing triggers us. And we're just already on that stage where we could just absorb deeper dimensions and understandings of Torah and being able to teach Torah and give over Torah on these levels of beyond fixing ourselves, just to be able to absorb ourselves in Hashem and understand Hashem on a higher level. So that's something to look forward to. Fix all your trigger points already, quick. No more trigger points for any of us. That's it. We're done with having to fix ourselves and our our emotional system, and then we can absorb all these high levels of revelations of Torah, and there won't be any even possibility for sin at that point, right? We won't be triggered. If we're not triggered, then we're not moved by anything that could bring us to get angry or to get worried or to get lustful or to try to escape, right? We're not triggered. Okay, so the fixing of the bad and evil within ourselves will be done, and then there won't be any possibility for us to do anything unwanted, undesirable. Okay? Not even the possibility, the remote possibility. Now the Rebbe's, we're on page 202. Yesh Lomar, the Rebbe's bringing another chiddush that it's very possible the 6 cities of refuge that were in the times of till Geula correspond to the 6 Sidrei Mishnah, the 6 tractates of the Mishnah, which are explained in the Gemara, so it includes all the Gemara in them. Through them were explained all the Pirtei Adinim D'Yisur Torah, all the details of the laws of what's permitted, not permitted, allowed, not allowed, and that that came to rectify and fix the world. To and all the cases of claims and concealed things and lies, and right, we explained that one person's lying and you have to figure out who's lying. All that is dealt with in the Mishnahs and the Gemaras, and that was all rectified in those. It's representative of those 6 cities of refuge. Now, the 3 cities of refuge that will be in the future represent the new Torah that will become and clarified and taught to us in the teachings of the revelations of the inner dimensions of Torah. The new Torah is represented by Chassidus, is taught through Chassidus, is the revelations of the inner dimensions of Torah. So the 3 cities of refuge are represented by the revelations of the inner dimensions of Torah. Now the Rebbe says, let's sweeten this, make it more sweet, delicious. This we didn't learn from that. The 3 cities of refuge in times of Geula represent the cities that will be in the lands of Keni, Kniz, and Kanmoni. That Avraham Avinu was promised in a covenant, and they haven't yet been taken over by the Jewish people. If we learn this, I'm saying this again, that the 3 cities, the 6 cities of refuge represent the emotional, the emotional system, things that we fix in our soul throughout the generations, and the midos, fixing the midos, elevating our emotionals, right? Our trigger buttons, okay? Fixing our trigger points. And that's the main avodah of our times. Now, the conquering of the 3 lands in the future, Keni, Kniz, and Kanmoni, represents in our soul the fixing or the revelations and the understandings that will be in the times of Mashiach, that will come through our brain. The Keni Knizi Kanmani represent the Chachma Bin and Das, the understandings that we'll have in our intellect and our above our emotional system and our intellectual system. Then will come the revelations of Torah Chadasha, the inner dimensions of Torah will be revealed in our brain that we can understand it. Godliness will be revealed to us in the way that our human brain will have the capacity, as much as a human brain can understand Hashem, that will be in the highest level revealed in times of Geula. So those three lands that we will conquer in the future, those three physically are represented by our understandings of Torah, of Hashem, in our brain and our human intellect, the Torah Chadasha, the new Torah that Hashem will reveal. So that's paragraph 12. Does anybody have a question or a comment before we go on to Yud Gimel?
How can you remind me, how are we conquering our emotional systems triggers? Anything will help.
Oh my gosh, that is a good question. That's the whole work of that Chassidus applied, of taking the ideas and the concepts. And in a nutshell, when you have a negative emotion, everybody has negative emotions from birth, okay? We're wired that way, that our emotional system will get into, our amygdala it gets into trauma, fight or flight or freeze, right? We get into this, we're heightened, right? We're born with emotions that are strong and intense. And we, as soon as we can, first of all, we have to identify that we're in a heightened emotional state, and then want to remind ourselves that we want to bring other systems, which is our connection to Hashem, our neshama. Then we can connect with our brain also. So the way that I've taught this in my courses is, if you first are aware of Hashem, bring Hashem into the picture, then that can already calm your system down. Because you can ask, what is Hashem's perspective? From Hashem's perspective, Hashem sees everything, everything's good, everything's right, everything's wonderful. So we ask Hashem, that's a prayer, please help us see things from his perspective. So we bring our neshama through our prayer, we bring our awareness of Hashem, that's our emunah, so that's the higher levels of Kesser, really into our consciousness. And that still we don't understand yet, our brain is still not functioning yet. We're just connecting on our level of Kesser. And you could do it in many, many ways to get to there, but you can remember that Hashem loves you. You can remember that Hashem has pleasure and delight in you wherever you are. You bring in the pleasure and the will and your desire to do Hashem's will no matter what. Okay, so you bring in, these are all levels of Kesser, this is above rational. And when we strive to that, then it calms our emotional system a little bit, and then we can start thinking more, okay? And then we can start looking and saying, is our fear or our anger or our trigger, is it really real? And think about it, what are we telling ourselves? Why are we scared? Why are we upset? And then we can start understanding, trying to look at it from Hashem's perspective. What is it from Hashem's perspective that's really real? From Hashem's perspective, everything's wonderful, everything's delightful, everything's good. So how we can start trying to go the back and forth with our brain and our mind to try to see what is it that we're telling ourselves from our animal soul that's confusing us, that's getting us to be scared. So we have raw intellect, that's very low level intellect, that's the messages that we give ourselves, and we can examine those messages. And that message, we can say, is that really true? Am I really in true danger right now? Am I really in sakana, or is Hashem with me? So we could start going in the back and forth and reanalyzing, using our brain, and then till we are completely cleared out from the amygdala emotional fight, flight, freeze that's just coming from our lower emotional system. and we bring in our neshama level, our intellect, and then we can work. That's how we work through it. But it takes practice.
That's perfect. What is sakana? Are we really in sakana?
Danger.
Meaning, huh?
Fire freezes. A lot of it is because we think we're in danger. Okay? We forget about Hashem. We forget about anything, higher power. We forget about, we think that we're in danger at that moment. So
So what does the word sakana mean? What word was that?
danger in Hebrew.
Oh, danger. Okay, thank you. Yes. That was a perfect, like 2 minutes into the explanation, like it was just like so brilliant, and it's so shifting, just like to even like you bring in Hashem, and there it is. There's your override for your emotions. There's the override.
Yes.
That there's the greatest power in the universe. What do you mean? Like you're struggling with your emotional triggers? Just connect to the greatest power in the universe.
Yes.
And yeah, if you can do that in that moment, that's it. That's all you need to do.
So that's the Aleph, bringing the Aleph into your Gola, into your exile. The exile is our triggered emotions. The Aleph is the consciousness of Hashem. So that's bringing Geula to the world, to ourselves, and then we can bring Geula to the world.
Thank you so much for that.
This is the avoda. This is our
Yes.
avoda. This is our service, is to work on our midos in Gullus. That's exactly what we're doing. That's
Yeah.
we're all doing it.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
And the
Especially
more
now with the
Chassidus-
honor.
Yes.
I also just wanted to comment, like it's so brilliant, like who am I to say the brilliance of the Torah, but even in that whole idea of the or michlat, like that someone who is sinned or whatever, what do? You put him in a good environment, you infuse with him knowledge and understanding, but you're in a good, safe environment. Like if you want to reform people from doing bad things, put them in a good environment and expose them to all these good teachings and good knowledge and good, like bring them up to people that can inspire him. Like what a great source of turning around bad behavior. And it's just such a brilliant way to approach it, right?
But listen, Chabad, Chokmah Bina Das is what Chabad stands for. So that's really cool. That's the
Right.
that's the third three cities of refuge.
Right.
Chabad.
Left.
Put in a good environment, learn. That's Chabad.
That's
Right.
it. And here we are.
Here we are.
We're in a city of refuge right now.
Yes.
The good city.
Thank you. I was thinking, I want to just be there. Let's go there. Yeah,
We're
that sounds like
there.
a good plan.
We're in it. This is it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for your insights. Okay, so we finished with Gimel. Alpi, according to this, now the Rebbe is going back to the question that we asked before. How could it be that in the future we're going to rule Torah law? The rabbis are going to reconvene and rule Torah law according to Beis Shammai. Beis Shammai were stricter. It's like, what do we need a stricter, more strictness? We'll be on such a high level. We won't need to be removed. The rabbis don't need to necessarily rule to safeguard us from sin. Well, we're already on a high level. So the Rebbe explains like this. Back then, the difference of opinions between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel. Beis Shammai usually would be more stringent and not allow things. Beis Hillel will usually allow things, more permissive. The difference of opinions in them had to do with the way Torah is fixing the world, how Torah is able to change the world, or how we're able to affect the world through Torah, to elevate the world, right? Because like I said, all this learning that we've been doing throughout the generations has been to fix the world. So Torah, when we learn Torah and the rabbis rule Torah law, it's the way we fix and elevate the world. So there's different opinions of how to elevate the world. So Beis Hillel had one opinion and Beis Shammai had a different, and he explains. For sure, things that are for sure undesirable, awful terrible things that everybody agrees this is not allowed, not good. There's small dacha, we have to stay away from these things. It's tameh, it's impure, it's not allowed, it's puzzle, it's blemished. We stay, everybody agreed it's not allowed. Things that are permitted and they have good in them. They're things that are permissible in this world, for sure, for all opinions. The way to elevate them is to draw them close and use them, right? Use our permitted things to serve Hashem. So we don't push away things that we're allowed to use. We bring them close. They're tar, they're pure, they're allowed, they're kosher. Those using them, to serve Hashem. Everything we use in this world is for Hashem's sake. We know Hashem in all our ways. We elevate them through this, through using them. And we elevate them for Kedusha. We use the world for holy purposes. Everything we eat, everything we wear, everything we use, everything we, our home, our environment, everything we have, we're using it to serve Hashem. It's elevated to holiness. So from a level of it could be permitted or not permitted, it comes when it's permitted, we're elevating it when we use it to serve Hashem, and it becomes holy. Okay, everything around, and we're using for holiness to serve Hashem is elevated to holy Kedusha, so another level of holiness. Okay, so that through this, we elevate things to holiness. Now, what's the difference between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel and things that there's a suffix, there's a doubt? Should we push these things away, or can we? And the Rebbe puts in parentheses, which is important. If we can, therefore we should bring them close. Bring them close, use them, and elevate them to Kedusha. So permissible things, the Rebbe says, really should be used for holiness, shouldn't be pushed away. Okay, it's our job to use this world to serve Hashem. Okay, like the Zoom, the internet, everything, the technology. If we have the capacity to use it for Kedusha, you need to use it for Kedusha. It's not just we could, we should. So things that we can't see, if in them the possibility it's not evil or bad is not clear and revealed, it's in a hidden possibility because there was etc. The Beis Shammai, Beis Hillel, and Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel are different, So Beis Shammai is like, no, still don't use it, stay away, because potentially there is a possibility for evil. And Beis Hillel was, yes, do use it, okay? Beis Shammai, their shorish of neshama of the Beis Shammai is from Gevura, which is being strict, being strong, being tough, Their seichel of their brain is ingrained to be machmir, to be remove yourselves from it, to make it not allowed, not permissible. Even things that the evil in them or the bad in them is just in potential. It's not clear and revealed in them. Beis Hillel, their way of their neshama coming down to the world from the level of chesed, through the channels of chesed. Their brain also normally, naturally wants to be make it allowed. To allow it to be used used for Kedusha. Things that the evil in them is not clear, not revealed. Even it's there in potential, but it's not revealed. So they want to use those things for Kedusha. The Rebbe says this difference between Shammai and Hillel is also alluded to in their names. Shammai is from the words Hasham Ochatav. He puts his ways. Sheshokel l'chad b'tachlit. He really evaluates his ways of doing things. The tachlit is very carefully. Even from things that could potentially have bad in them. When he finds the bad in them, immediately pushes them and doesn't allow them. Hillel is from the words, he should reveal a light. Hashem's light is revealed on my head, like a candle, like there's more revelations. Which is revealing light, revelations. Drawing down a light of holiness. Even in a place where there's evil in potential and in a hidden way. So that's the way their way of dealing with evil in the world, a hidden evil. Now we have to add. This is Rebbe's Chiddush. We must say, if we can add, the difference between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, the strict and the right, the lenient, is also on the level of the Torah that through them, through which the world is fixed. Right? There's the different levels of Torah learning, and how that Torah learning fixes the world. Now, Beis Shammai and Beis Shammai were learning Torah in a very high level. They were learning Torah on such a high level because they were very, very deep thinkers. Also, they used the potential, the power of Torah, which is the hidden dimensions of Torah, which were not so revealed to everybody. With that power of Torah, that's the hidden parts of Torah, they're able to elevate and fix also not just the evil that's revealed, but also the hidden evil that's in potential and hidden. Whereas Beis Hillel, they were learning Torah just what's revealed, what they could see, more lower level of learning of the Torah Sinigla, the revealed aspects of Torah, just, is this, this one lying or this one lying? Is this, is this, it's more the revealed parts of Torah, the cases of Torah that don't deal with, they were just dealing with what they could see on the surface of things. They weren't there to find any hidden evil that could potentially be there. They just rule according to what you could see now and here with your physical understanding and the revealed parts of Torah. So they're not in this situation, they're not capable even of fixing and elevating the hidden evil, the hidden bad. You're not allowed to remove things that you're able to bring them close, use them, and elevate them for Kedusha. So that's why there was a difference between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel. Beis Shammai was more aware of the hidden evil because they were very sharper and they could see there's in potential the evil that's there. So therefore, because they were more coming from the power of the inner dimensions, the inner secrets of Torah, they could see in potential the evil. So they would make it not allowed. Whereas Beis Hillel were only more on the revealed teaching from the perspective of the revealed aspects of Torah, doesn't see the inner hidden evil that's in there, just sees what they can see according to the revealed parts of Torah, and therefore they could not say it's not allowed. They have to say, let's elevate this. Okay, they weren't aware of the hidden inner evil that's there. Therefore, this man is that therefore in our times. שהמצב העולם הוא שבני אדם אינם שייכים לדרגתם של בית שמאי לשקול ולדקדק דרכיהם בתכלית הזהירות גם מרע נעלם ולברור על ידי דרגה נעלית בתורה לך כבית הלל. Therefore, in our times, so pay attention, because this is a little counterintuitive. Now, in our times, when the situation in the world is that most people, they're not on the level, okay? The whole times of Golos, most people are not on the level of Beis Shammai. Beis Shammai were able to be very, very, evaluate more, didactic, right? Gevura, be more nuanced in their ways. The Tachlit is very, very able to, like Chava was asking today, to be able to look at their emotional system and to be nuanced. Is this really the Yetzer Hara, the Yetzer Tov? Is this my amygdala? Is this my is this my raw emotions? Is this from holiness? Is this my higher neshama? Is this from Hashem? Okay, so they were able to be very, very careful to see what are the evil messages that might be coming to my brain from my lower emotional system, that's not thinking about Hashem. So they were able to be on a higher level of carefulness, even from hidden evil, see the hidden, unwanted messages that we're giving ourselves, and they were able to elevate it to a higher level of learning Torah. And that's why they were, but they were not the usual. Most people were not able to do that. So therefore, halacha had to be like Beis Hillel, because not everybody was on that level. Okay, their emotional system wasn't fixed yet. Beis Shammai become Beis Hillel and not Mishnah. Therefore, when it comes at the house of Shammai, if you had Beis Shammai or Beis Hillel, Beis Shammai wasn't accepted. Therefore, even the days that when they came to Beis Din and there were more people who helped by Beis Shammai than Beis Hillel, and they ruled certain Torah rulings according to Beis Shammai, it was a very, very hard day. It was like the day like the golden calf was brought. Because through pushing away from holiness, things that they could have brought close and elevated to holiness, therefore, these things that they were pushed away, things that they could have elevated weren't elevated to holiness. Therefore, there was additional energy, koach, power added to the other side, the unholy side, because it wasn't elevated by most of the people. Most of the people weren't holding there where they could see deeply and be able to have that nuance of discerning that evil that's in the thing or in them and elevate it. So they weren't able to necessarily do that inner higher level work of Beis Shammai, and so therefore things weren't being elevated if they ruled according to Beis Shammai. They needed to be able to rule according to Beis Hillel in order for most people to resonate with the ruling and elevate to holiness the things that they could elevate. About being Muslim Mashiach, whereas in times of Mashiach, the halacha will be like Beis Shammai. Kevan. Why? שישתנה שיקול הדעת בטבע השכל דכך נעשה בהתאם לשינוי מצב העולם במוסר משיח. The rulings and the shikul das, the weighing of how it should be in the nature of the brains, of the intellect and the understandings of the rabbis, the chachamim in the times of Mashiach will be in accordance to the change in the situation of the world in times of Mashiach. Like we said, people will be elevated. A rabbi is supposed to, a dayan, he's a judge, he's supposed to rule according to what he sees. So he's going to see people on a higher level. Because after all our trigger points, all our emotional system, we'll do all that work, we will be elevated, we will be on a higher level. We won't have those things stopping us from seeing Hashem. Right? We'll be seeing Hashem on a much deeper level of understanding of our intellect. We'll be on a higher level of awareness of Hashem. There'll be already the fixing of evil and good will be clear. What's coming from our trigger points, what's not coming from our trigger, what's from our raw, unadult, uneducated or unawareness it will be all clear. We'll all be sifted. We'll all know, this is my Yetzirah. We'll already be able to be beyond the trickery of our Yetzirah inside of us. Okay, we'll have cleared ourselves out, clear emotional system. Okay, will be able to already be on this level of being very nuanced and where we're coming from. Where is our, where's our heart, where's our soul, where's our mind? We'll be able to nuance it and know where we're approaching things from. So be able to really, really be in a nuanced and clear of the details of carefulness of where we're coming from. Also from the hidden evil, which is only in potential. So we'll be very, very, very clear of where we're coming from, and we'll be above and beyond this even potential of coming to evil. So until we'll come to even there won't be even the possibility to come to something undesirable, right? Well, our emotional system will not be in that quagmire and trickery of the Yetzirah anymore. We won't come to be coming triggered anymore. Because we'll already be able to clearly remove from us and remove ourselves our clarity of our mind, of consciousness of Hashem within our emotional system, and we won't be triggered by these hidden triggers that we're normally not aware of, and we have to kind of work on during Gullus. That will be done. So this hidden evil or hidden bad or hidden emotional system that's pulling us to evil will already be far removed from us, and we won't even be moved by it. We won't come to these trigger points. There will still be evil in the world, but our system will be cleared of it. It won't be even triggering us anymore. How will we have that? Because Torah will be revealed on a so much higher level. It will be so deep and sharp in learning Torah. It's so called Israel by all the Jewish people. There'll be a new Torah will come out from us. So if somebody is wondering, how is it times of Mashiach, all of a sudden everybody will be on this high level? Seems impossible. It's these revelations will be so clear. Our emotional system will not be triggered anymore. There's such a high level of awareness of Hashem that's it for sure. Evil won't be luring and pulling us or tricking us anymore. Our inside us will be so clear and far removed from us. It won't be even something that will no more trigger points. Torah will come out from Hashem. This will be the Tana V'Sadot Torah, the deeper dimensions, hidden secrets of Torah. Because they're so beyond even having to fix the world. It's so clear. There's no even possibility for undesirable things to take place. It's like not even lured by these the trigger points that were triggering us before. So we'll be so beyond that. No problem. Okay. Any questions? Any comments? We finished Gimel.
So the first stage of the Geula or the Mashiach process is that our connection with Hashem is so strong that the Yetzer Hara has no power over us, but the Yetzer Hara still exists. It's not like gone.
Right. It's in the world. There is possibility of evil in the world, but it won't be within us, triggering us anymore. We'll be beyond our mindset and our understanding. Our awarenesses are so high that that will be already fixed already. We're not going to be triggered by our base coarse emotions. We won't be tricked by the confusion or by the ruach shtus.
Right. But the Yetzer Hara will still have. It will still like it's sort of like
existence of evil in the world. It says until probably that's going to be another place I remember in times after the resurrection. That's when Hashem will remove all spirit of evil from the world completely in terms of the resurrection.
But when you say that they were all tzaddikim, doesn't that mean that it just means that our Yetzer Hara has no control, or it doesn't? But it still exists on some level.
It still exists on some level, yes, in the world, but we'll be beyond it.
But can we get it out of us? Like,
yeah, it won't be inside of us. We won't be triggered. That's the thing.
Okay.
Our consciousness will be so high immediately as soon as maybe an emotional trigger gets triggered, we'll immediately remember Hashem.
Okay, there you go. I just want it kind of out of me. That would be nice if it was sort of like I'd look at it on the outside. Thank you. I just needed that. Heads up. It will be out of me. Okay.
a woman asked me on Shabbos, a very sophisticated frum woman, not Chabad, but she's just a delightful, wonderful, intelligent. She's a physician. And she said, how, when you're going through a tough time, how do you do it? I said, I learn Chassidus every morning. I have a shir. I fill my head with a lot of Chassidus. And that's what carries me through. The whole day is different when you're like opening up your mind to Chassidus. You're not as, it's easier to deal with triggers. And the more you fill yourself up with Chassidus, and the faster you remember, and your mind consciousness is in that zone, the faster your triggers or your is removed and cleared. It's not, not such a trigger, not a trigger anymore as much. It's easier to quickly deal with, to identify the evil or the falsehood or the disconnect, and just and bring a different consciousness. That's the way of Golos. And in Geula, it will be like just automatic, I guess. Like it will be so filled all day long with this higher level that it won't even be a trigger. That's my take. I could be
I just
these levels. Yes.
also, we'll get more mature, but there's, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but the Rebbe brought up just now, I don't know, he's bringing this up right before Simchat Torah. And I mean, not Simchat Torah, he's bringing it up before Shavuos. And one thing that I learned in this other class is that Hashem is bringing down the Yud Ke Vav Ke, the Ayeka energy, and it's like a new download. And but you pick it up by hearing the 10 Commandments.
Yes.
So it's a whole new energy in the world that we need to go and get like an infusion.
Yes.
So is that could have something to do with it, getting at a higher level and
yes. Yeah. And also the Rebbe says in the Sikha that the Mashiach will be a prophet and he'll reveal it to us in a way of prophecy also, on a higher level than our brain normally can do it. So the teachings of Geula, of the inner dimensions of Torah, are so much higher. We couldn't get to this on our own. But the Rebbe is revealing a lot of these teachings with a prophetic vision and insight that it opens us our mind to a much, much higher level too.
I'm getting really excited for all night learning. This is really inspiring. Yes. Our rabbi, he goes into this zone and he reads what is to me totally, well, not totally understandable, but pretty much ununderstandable. But it just sinks in and it feels like the third city of refuge, except that it's not clear. But it might be clear to the neshama.
Yes.
But he goes on like for 4 hours.
Yes.
And it's just like this enveloping of
awesome.
This description fits what our all night learning is.
Awesome.
Did you ever ask him to explain?
What?
Did you ever ask him to explain some of this?
Oh, no. He's in a zone. No, he explains as he goes along, but he doesn't stop and explain and take questions. This is just a
download. It's a download.
It's a download. Yeah. I don't need explained. I don't.
He calls it a Bluetooth thing.
No, I'm happy not to have it explained. It takes you down a notch to be explained, in my opinion.
Yeah. I've learned that lesson. Sometimes you don't want to interrupt the if a rabbi's downloading, like Rabbi Ginsburg, don't interrupt.
Exactly. And don't even stop to think, really. Just let it flow onto you like a big drink of water.
Take it in.
Uh-huh.
I love that mashal of the Aseret Dibros we're getting an infusion. It feels that's such a good mashal. Like you're just getting a godly spiritual infusion at that moment. Like
it's true infusion.
Well, that's what the Rebbe said. The Rebbe said you can't, that this is what it is. Hashem is bringing this energy into the world. And before we didn't have the kelim to be able to take it, but now we do. It's a whole new level you're getting, and above, supposed to be above miracles, above everything. It's supposed to be the Ayeka energy. That's what he said. No, the Ayeka energy.
Thank you. That's really good. The visual of the infusion, like, here we go. You're just getting this godly infusion.
Now you're getting your chisun.
So, my daughter is a nurse, so just reminded me, she does infusions on the side, to make a little bit of money. She'll go to somebody and bring them this vitamin packets, and they can have different combos of vitamins they want, and she puts it in a needle and infuses it in them.
What is Ayefa?
Ayeka is where are you?
Oh, Ayeka? Oh. So
wait, sorry, it's Anochi. I'm sorry, it's Anochi. I made a mistake, sorry. Anochi energy. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. And it's also what we were talking about bringing the names of Hashem together, fusing it together like an atom. And this is during the 10 Commandments. That's what.
Right. Anochi, yeah. That's better.
Okay. Sorry.
Anyway, I like the analogy of my daughter's vitamin infusions, downloading extra vitamins. So that's happening in our times, didn't happen before. It's happening in our generation because we're getting spiritually infused with a lot of spiritual insights
through our pores, and
Straight into our blood. Okay, so we finished. Okay, I think we should stop here because, oh my gosh, yeah, we should be able to finish tomorrow. We did.
But do you know which sikha? I have to find out where she got that from about some that's about yeah, some chassidus, not some chassidus, sorry, Shavuos. But the Rebbe said with the 10 Commandments. Are we heading towards that also?
The sikha of the 10 Commandments. There's another sikha that we've learned a long time ago. I think it's like Parshas Yitro, Parshas, the Parsha of the giving of the Torah. Talks about the 10 Commandments. It's not in here, I don't.
So, I mean, can we learn it tomorrow? Is that possible? Because it is.
You want to, instead of finishing the sikha?
Well, I don't know, because we're
We could,
to
because
finish
it
the
gets very
sikha,
hard.
we can't stop.
The end part of the sikha is very hard. I don't mind skipping it.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine skipping it.
No, I'm just thinking, since we're getting into Shavuos, isn't it good to get the energy of the Shavuos?
I'm open to trying to do that one.
Or a little each, or a little.
No, let's finish.
I'll go with the majority.
We could do this. We could do this very quickly. I can't tell you. Hopefully, maybe tonight Hashem will give me a new insight. But I can't tell you I can finish the sikha easily. It's a little high. It's about, the Rebbe goes into a whole higher concept in Chassidus that I can't say I have my head wrapped around it. It's about knowing Hashem b'derech hashlila compared to derech hashlila is like in our times we can't fully grasp Hashem directly, so we can understand Hashem more by inferring what we don't understand. Like we can understand that we don't understand, whereas in times of Mashiach it's going to be a different level of awareness that we will understand. So and he applies that to Beis Hillel and Beis Shammai. So
it's like negative deduction, like
yes.
that.
Yes,
Okay.
right now we're doing things through negative deduction of understanding Hashem, but we don't really understand Hashem because we're just deducing like
Right.
logically what we can't understand. That will be clear in times of Mashiach.
Oh, that's
We
cool.
won't have to negatively deduce things. The negative deduction will become clear, and we'll be aware of really what's going on. So that's hard for me to imagine, and that applies that to the difference of understanding of. That's why we'll be on this level of Beis Shammai in the future, because we'll be on this, everything, even the hidden evil will not be a problem. We'll be able to elevate through our Torah learning.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have to learn that. I mean, we have to
Yeah,
hear
well,
it,
can
not
we
just
start-
learn it, not learn it, but hear
Yeah,
it.
can we start learning some of it now? And then we'll have some done
Yes, but
already.
I can't tell you I understand it. I'm hoping that when I go to sleep tonight.
No,
Hashem-
I get it, because
brain.
people weren't right now. I remember I heard that now most of us are, we're educated. We went to school, high school, university. So back then they didn't have that. So their level of understanding was much different. Their minds were at a very different level.
Yes.
So now you can get closer to, and also the level of learning, the Rebbe keeps telling his Talmidim, learn Gemara, learn this, learn Mishnayos. And so they're catching up with the level of the boys that sit and learn Gemara all day, right? So that's that. Other yeshivas are Shammai, and these yeshivas are Hillel. So it's all catching up to each other now.
Yes. We're all catching up. It's catch up time. Okay, so before the Rebbe goes into that thing about how we understand Hashem better from a different perspective in terms of Geula, he brings a whole paragraph 15 on this shechting of the what is shechita, what is slaughtering, because right where they started the sikha about the slaughtering of the shorham, the wild ox through the big fish. So what is the whole concept of slaughtering of the animals? And he goes into the idea of why was the slaughtering brought? The slaughtering is, there's a deeper dimension to the slaughtering also. So first he deals with that, and then he goes into the understanding of Hashem on a deeper, higher level. So should we do the paragraph 15 on the slaughtering? The
What
slide-
happened to 14? Did we do 14?
Yeah, I think we just, no. It's
No,
14
let's do 15.
It's
yeah.
14 and 15. It's 14 and 15 together. It's about the
Okay.
slaughtering, because the slaughtering parallels the slaughtering of our evil inside of us. So it's 14.
Yay, that's exactly what I want to do, right?
That's
rid of
14.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay,
Go for it.
very, it's very, it's an intellectual pursuit over here more. Okay, we'll try to apply it more. Okay, so you dial it. 14. Yes, Lucy, that says we have to add. שגם בקשר בשייכות לחג השבועות, זמן מתן תורתנו, connecting to Shavuos, which is the giving of the Torah, there was something else going on. There was, well, first of all, Zman Matan Toratenu, on the highest level, we received the Torah, the whole Torah, including, the Rebbe says, we received Gam Torah Chadasha, the new Torah that will be revealed, Meiti Tetzeh from Hashem in the future. We find this also, B'dugmat Inan Halacha Kevet Shemayim, we see a similarity that in Shavuos, they actually, which is the highest revelations of Torah, including Torah Chadasha, in times of Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, there was something to do with Shavuos, that they went according to Beis Shammai, most people. So they were on this higher level of consciousness, I guess, on Shavuos already, in times before. And the halacha, most people went according to Beis Shammai on Shavuos. How do we find it in halacha? How did they follow Beis Shammai on Shavuos? And the Rebbe says this halacha is similar. It's an example, and it's similar to the chiddush that we'll have in halacha in times of Mashiach that will be like Beis Shammai. So what was the halacha in times of Beis Hillel and Beis Shammai on Shavuos? At the end of the laws of Shavuos, it says, and this is Shulchan Aruch Orach Chaim 494, if you test paragraph 19, it says in the Code of Jewish Law, Koteva Ben Hazaken, the Alter Rebbe writes, in the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch. B'motzei Chag HaShavuos and Motzei Yom Tov HaShavuos. Asur litanot, you're not allowed to fast. Why? Mikadin. Lefi, why? Shaya Yom Tvach Bizman Shebeit HaMikdash Cherem. It was a time of there were sacrifices in the time of the Beis HaMikdash on Motzei Shavuos. Why? Shebo Bayom Hayu Makrimin Alot Reya Shelo Yichulim Lakriv B'Yom Tov Atzmo. That after Yom Tov, after Shavuos, they would bring the sacrifices of people brought sacrifices when they come to the Beis HaMikdash, they would bring sacrifices for coming to see Hashem in the Beis HaMikdash. And those they couldn't actually sacrifice on Shavuos itself, on Yom Tov itself, because they weren't edible. They weren't using them to eat, or they didn't need them to eat. I don't know if they weren't edible, but they weren't used for eating. So on Yom Tov, you don't shecht unless you're eating it, right? You're allowed to, do the work of the shechita and the sacrificing it, cooking it if you're going to eat it. Now that was according to Beis Shammai, that you wouldn't sacrifice it. But according to Beis Hillel, you were allowed to sacrifice it, even on Yom Tov itself. Still, this is something that Beis Hillel went according to the ruling of Beis Shammai. Now, many of the Jewish people did the minhag like Beis Shammai. To bring these sacrifices after Yom Tov. So Motzei Yom Tov became like a time of sacrificing, the Yom Tov sacrifice. It became like a Yom Tov, and became like the Yom Tov itself. They weren't allowed to do any hespedim, mornings, tinies, no fasts. Therefore, until now, even now, the Alter Rebbe writes in his Shulchan Aruch, even after the destruction, we're not allowed to do a hesped. We're not allowed to do those extra mourning for a dead person, and we're not allowed to fast on Motzei Yom Tov, the day after Yom Tov. So the night after Yom Tov and the day after Yom Tov are like a Yom Tov itself. So until this day, even though we're not actually bringing sacrifices, but because in times of the Beis HaMikdash, they went according to the house of Shammai, even Beis Hillel, most people went according to Beis Shammai at that time, and they sacrificed the sacrifices after Yom Tov. That's like the day after Yom Tov became like a Yom Tov. And we, till this day, we commemorate the day after Yom Tov almost like a Yom Tov itself. We know also that he doesn't bring this here, but the Rebbe brings us another place. Until the 12th of Sivan, it's called, there's 5 days of called Yemei Tashlumim, where they were bringing all the sacrifices of Shavuos that they didn't manage to bring on Shavuos. There was extra time given to bring all the sacrifices until the 12th of Sivan. The Rebbe talks about it in another place. So it's like those days were auspicious days. They're still happy Yantiv Dika days. So now what's the Rebbe taking this? The explanation over here is according to the inner dimensions. What's going on over here according to Pnimius and the inner learning from this? It says in the Gemara, Mala Yom Adatzata the second Talakis Da Mishum Danapikbe Ev Yom Atzat Sakanalakis Da Mishum Shiotzer Bavach Shmot Vach שאם לא קיבלו ישראל את התורה, היה טובח אותם את בשרם ואת דמם. Okay, there's the day before Yantiv is also mentioned here in the Gemara Shabbos. It says the day before Yantiv, the Erev Shavuos is, okay, which is starting tonight, tomorrow. It's a day you're not allowed to let out blood. Okay, in those days they used to let out blood for health purposes. But there's a sakana, there's a danger in it. So it's a day of, you got to be more careful not to do something dangerous. Why? Because on that day, the Gemara says, Erev Shavuos, there's a spirit, Ushmot Vach, and its name is sacrifice, shechting. She'im lo kibu, because if the Jewish people don't receive the Torah, this evil spirit would shecht the Jewish people. Et b'sam ve'damam, their flesh and their blood. I just have a little bit of chills because I remember, right? Remember that whole story that I told about when I was a teenager? It was Erev Shavuos that the Rebbe instructed all the Chassidim to drop everything and go out and sell letters in the Sefer Torah that protects all Jews, that everybody should have a letter in the Sefer Torah. He said all Chassidim should just drop everything. I mean, he never had such a thing. So on Erev Shavuos, all Chassidim were instructed to stop everything they're doing, learning, teaching, I think they daven still, but every other activity that you would expect people to do Erev Shavuos. Rebbe said, spend your energy doing something to protect the Yidden from dangerous things, like the world is in danger. And that was in 1981, I believe, that's my memory, and it was Erev Shavuos. And I checked the date, it's correct, other people remember it too. It wasn't just my teenage memory. And that was Erev Shavuos. So Erev Shavuos, the Rebbe says over here, 1991, is a day that it says in the Gemara is a day of sakana, a day of danger. Because if there's an evil spirit that can come, that's called tvach, it's called, tvach means actually to shecht. And if we don't receive the Torah, it would, if not willing to receive the Torah, it would shecht them and their flesh and their blood. Okay? So be careful tonight and tomorrow. Spend your time doing good things, okay? It's a day of sakana. There's a question about this in the Agadas of the Maharsha. He asks a nuanced question. The wording in the Gemara is that it's called the day of Tevuach, a day of being sacrificed. It doesn't say a day of it's something sacrificing or shechting something. It says a day of being shechted, not a day of going and shechting something else or other things. So he explains, the Maharsha, one of the Mepharshim on the Gemara, he explains why is it used that wording, it's a day of being sacrificed, not a day of going out, that this evil spirit is going out and sacrificing, because what's happening is this Yetzer Hara, which could be shechting or the Jewish people know if they didn't receive the Torah. But since the Jewish people received the Torah, they conquered their Yetzer Hara. This evil Yetzer Hara doesn't have power. But not only doesn't have power, the Jewish people already shechted their Yetzer Hara. Okay, so we already removed the threat because we sacrificed already our Yetzer Hara. So there's no threat of our Yetzer Hara having any evil harm to shecht the Jewish people. Okay, so that's the Maharsha, which is a Mepharsh on the Gemara, explaining the Gemara of on Erev Shavuos, on the word that it's the day of sacrifice, of being sacrificed, instead of day of it going in sacrifice and being sacrificed. And he explains it's because we sacrifice our own Yetzirah, so that it's the Yetzirah is being sacrificed, and we're not in danger if we accept the Torah. V'yesh lama. So now the Rebbe is bringing his own insight and pirush into this. Shazo gam tochanen deyom tzvach motzei chag HaShavuos zvicha seitzah. So the Rebbe is applying this explanation to not just to Erev Shavuos, he's taking it to the day after Shavuos. The day after Shavuos, right, we're sacrificing all those sacrifices that weren't being brought on Shavuos itself. So motzei chag Shavuos zvicha seitzah, we are sacrificing the Yetzirah. It's a time also of sacrifices. Kloma, what does it mean? Male yom hadatzata ev chag HaShavuos lifnei kablas haTorah nafik bezika sheba litvach es Yisrael ilu lo kiblu Torah b'mozei chag HaShavuos la'achrei shekiblu Torah nasa yom tvach al shem shezavchu Yisrael et Yetzirah. So this, what's happening Motzei, the day after receiving the Torah? Since we already received the Torah, then after Shavuos, after we already received the Torah, we already had it. It already became a day of the being sacrificed. Already happened because they already the wording is more of it already happened. Already because we already sacrificed our Yetzirah. Okay, so this concept of if we accept the Torah already, the sacrifice is already done. It's Yom Tvach. It's not the day that it's going to be sacrificed. The Yetzirah was already sacrificed. So too, the Rebbe says, apply this to the day after Shavuos. We already sacrificed the Yetzirah, and that's why it's called Yom Tvach, where the sacrifice was already happened. So it happened within us. We already sacrificed the Yetzirah. The reason why, now he's going back, why Beis Hillel acted according to Beis Shammai on this particular Torah ruling, that they didn't bring it on Yom Tov itself. Why? So most of the Jewish people took on to do the sacrifice after Yom Tov. The Rebbe says, Yesh Lamar, this is Rebbe's Chiddush, we could say, the day of the giving of the Torah, which includes within it in a hidden way, right? We said, Rebbe explained, this new Torah Chadasha is embedded and coded in the Torah that was given on Mount Sinai. So the day of Mount Torah, every year, we're getting again this Torah Chadasha in a hidden way. It's still there, embedded and coded in the Torah that we're getting every year, this new Torah Chadasha. And this is the Tamei of the Torah. These are the reasons, the secrets of Torah. These are beyond the possibility of, these are right of having to fix the evil. These are so beyond. These are just teachings that elevate us to a high level of awareness, beyond the hidden secrets of Torah. There's no place and there's no need to sacrifice our Yetzirah. We're already just on a higher level of consciousness. We don't have to deal with the evil. Like the Shita Beit Shammai, because they were in such a high level of learning Torah, they could be elevated, and they wouldn't even deal. It erased and Mevatel took away any power from evil that was even hidden evil, even not necessarily evil, because they were in such a high level of consciousness. It just completely was Mevatel, took away the evil, the hidden evil. Therefore, after Shavuos, Yom Tvach, that's when the sacrifice already was, and but Tvach means they actually sacrifice the sacrifices, because on Shavuos itself, where there's this high revelation, there's no need to sacrifice on Yom Tov. So that's the end of 14. You ladies asked for it. Okay, what did you get from it? We only have 2 pages left.
That was very powerful. That was very powerful.
Yes.
I'm telling
Yes.
you, I don't want my Yetzirah anymore. And you said it's done. It's done. Okay.
Accept the Torah. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm
just have to accept the Torah. The Yetzirah is already shechted. I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah,
We're there.
We're
there.
Have
But
to be
it's
shafted.
the Torah on the level of Beis Shammai, which is the hidden secrets of Torah. It's not just, it's the Torah Chadasha that's hidden, that's there in potential. So every year, the Rebbe says this Torah Chadash is again being given to us also in potential, but with the level of if we're on the level of Beis Shammai, we already get it. The level of Beis Shammai is able to get it already even before. So that's why on this day where it's being revealed, Torah Chadash is being revealed, then they were in the level more of Beis Shammai, and that's why most of the Jewish people already went according to Beis Shammai.
Yeah, and we're here. This is
Yes.
where we're at.
This is
where we're
it. That's
Woo!
okay.
It's like,
Let's go.
it's like, you
Get that
can,
shofar out, get the tambourines going. We're here, ladies. We did it.
Baruch Hashem. No, but it's also like you, instead of accepting Shabbos the minute it comes in, like accept it before, do things at a little bit of a higher level if we can.
Yes, because we're already like so excited Shabbos is coming, because we're already understand and aware and connected. So it's more from an inner, it's not from a place of like I have to, like I'm bad if I don't. It's from an inner connection. Yeah. Okay, let's do the psukim. Ta'atziv alanu Moshe Kilas Yaakov Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad בכל דור ודור חייב אדם לעשות עצמו כאילו הוא יצא היום ממצרים. כל ישראל יש להם חלק לעולם הבא שנאמר ועמך כולם צדיקים לעולם ירשו ארץ. נצר 200 מעשה ידי לספור. כי קרוב אליך דבר מאוד בפיך ובלבבך לעשות את זה. והנה השם ניצב עליו ומלוא כל הארץ כבודו ומביט עליו ובכן כלס בלב עם עובדו כראוי. וישבע אלוקים את השמיים ואת הארץ ושננתם לבניך. ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשך בך ובקומך. הגעתי ולא מצאתי על טעמים, לא הגעתי ומצאתי על טעמים. הגעתי ומצאתי טעמים, ואהבת לך כמוך רבי עקיבא אומר, זה כלל גדול בתורה, וזה כל האדם הסכריס ברסו ביאס כל העולם הסבינים תחתנים לעזלי פחדיר, עשו ותחתנים. ישמח ישראל ברסו פרשו כל, משום מזרע ישראל יש לו ישמח בשמחת השם, אשר שש ושמח, ודרסו ותחתנים, וכי אדנינו היינו רבינו מלך המשיח ועולם ועד. עתיר מפחד פיסנו ושעשת שם כי סבו עוצו יצא בסופה דברו דבר ולא יקום כי מנו על זיקנה נירו עד סבע נספור ניסיתי וניסה נספור ועמלת. Should I turn off the recording and we'll do the dance? Here we go.
Now that we have